Hi, this is the presentation on writing, presentation, and academic integrity support for Brown School students for Brown School at Washington University in St. Louis for Admitted Student Week for 2021. I'm Peter Coogan, or Dr. Peter Coogan, if that makes you feel better. I'm the Communication Lab Coordinator, and I wanted you to know that Brown School has the best in-house and university-wide support, academic support in the top 10 schools of social work and public health. We take an asset-based, strengths-focused, capacity-building approach, comprehensive, everything from assignments, drafting, revision, proofreading, visual rhetoric. I have 30 years of teaching experience in college, 20 years of academic support experience, and 10 years at the Brown School. I've read about 15,000 papers, worked with 4,000 students, and read about 200 dissertations. And in this, we're going to give you a nice overview for the writing, presentation, and academic integrity support across the Brown School and the university. Okay. And I'm going to start off by handing it to Amy Roither for English language support for academic communication, Global Programs ELP Coordinator. Amy?
Thank you, Peter, and welcome to all admitted students. I am looking forward to getting to know you over the next 2 years. I'd like to introduce myself. As Peter said, my name is Amy Roither, and I've been teaching in higher education for 22 years. I have an MA TESOL degree, so my students are mostly international students. And I've been working at Washington University since 2018 and exclusively for the Brown School since 2019. I offer writing, speaking, and academic support. Of course, this is all free and included in the services that the Brown School provides for students. I focus on especially providing specialized support for international students who are non-native speakers of English. There are 3 things that I focus on in particular, and those are fluency, clarity, and also being concise in speaking and in writing. When students meet with me, they work on a variety of assignments. I help with everything from short reflections to policy briefs or to longer research papers. I also help students with cover letters and CVs, and I help them prepare for presentations in classes and also giving short, more personal types of speeches, such as elevator pitches, which are often used for networking and practicum and job seeking. I also, in the fall semester, teach the English language support course for incoming students in the Brown School. It is free as well and works on everything that I've mentioned so far, as well as cultural information and interactions. When students want to make an appointment time with me, they can just email me. I've put my email on the bottom of the slide, and all you have to do is email me and we will find a day and time that works best for you. Appointment times vary by student. Sometimes I might meet with the student for just 20 minutes. Other times it might be an hour or an hour and a half or more. I understand, especially with international students, that getting the time to really express your ideas and your thoughts can take longer. So I am very patient and will block a large amount of time so that we can work together. I think I've covered just about everything. If you have any questions about what I do or how to work with me, again, just email me and I'm happy to get to know you and to help you in any way that I can. So I'm going to have Peter advance the slide, and you're going to hear from a student that I've been working with a lot since September probably. In fact, we were working together just this morning before we started this recording, and you're going to really enjoy meeting her. Peter, take it from here.
Noriko?
Hi everyone. I'm Noriko, a first year MSW student and international student. I came from Japan to St. Louis last summer. Um, Firstly, the reason why I'm seeking out assistance from Amy is to improve my English proficiency regarding academic communication. In my case, before joining the Brown School, I worked for a bank for a long time, and so I still feel like I'm on the corporate side. I stood off the academic world for many years and had no professional social work background. The field of social work is full of a variety of jargons. I couldn't stop feeling anxious until meeting Amy in English language support course of fall 2020. And next, the project I was seeking support for were most writing assignments for foundation courses up to now. All students have to take the foundation courses during the first year, and there are various assignments, including tricky ones. I always feel technique is also necessary. I already learned from Amy about the strategies and many ways of phrasing, which are really helpful. Also, I had to improve my overall English proficiency. So, English language support course really helped me. On top of that, Amy always listens intently to what I'm speaking of during one-on-one sessions of writing assignments. Thanks to her attitude, I believe that I could obtain many expressions in writing and speaking at the same time. Finally, I think the reason why incoming students, especially international students, use this resource is that each international student has differences between the US and their own countries, mainly based on culture and language. It is harder for international students to command the second language and the third one. Actually, I'm struggling with linking the meaning of my Japanese language to the one of the English language. By all means, I recommend that international students contact Amy. Thank you.
All right. And at the Brown School, you don't just get assistance inside the Brown School. We also have assistance from the Washington University Writing Center. I'm going to let Joe take over. Joe?
Hi there. My name is Joe Milner, and I am the Brown School Dedicated Professional Writing Consultant at the Washington University Writing Center, and I am also an alum of the Brown School. So I have been in your shoes at one point as an admitted student, and I'm glad that we can, share some answers and a little bit of sneak peek for you right now. So I'm here today to share a little bit about Washington University's Writing Center and the special services that we offer for Brown School students. So the Writing Center offers writing and public speaking support to all WashU students. That means we see undergraduates, graduate students, and faculty from across pretty much every single department on campus. And as such, we have a large and experienced staff. So we have actually about 36 tutors working right now this semester. We offer support for writers at any stage of the writing process. So from brainstorming to developing an outline to polishing a final draft. You actually don't even need to have anything written in order to make an appointment. You can just bring your prompt or your assignment sheet from your professor and we can get started. So our appointments are 50-minute one-on-one tutorials where you set the goals and the agenda. And our approach, much like in social work, acknowledges that you are the expert in your own writing. And the next slide, please. Perfect. So again, I'm a graduate of the Brown School myself, and I have almost 10 years in Writing Center experience. And I also have firsthand experience with the types of writing you might encounter during your graduate program here at the Brown School. So what's great is that we now offer a dedicated schedule for MSW, MPH, MSP, and PhD students. And you're also welcome to use the Writing Center as an alumni. So even after your few years here, I'd love if you came back to see me. And my schedule right now is 20 hours a week, and that includes weekend hours. So you can book appointments online, or if nothing works for you on my schedule, you can always shoot me an email, and I'm pretty flexible. I also offer options for group papers, which you might learn are pretty common in the Brown School. And during our time together, we can work on course assignments, application materials for practicums, careers, fellowships, PhD programs, any research or publications you're working on, policy briefs, and more. And the Writing Center is able to accommodate your schedule and needs because in addition to this flexible Brown School schedule, you have access to dozens of daily appointments on our main schedule with any senior tutor or graduate fellow. And those hours range from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I know grad school schedules can get a little wild and pretty busy, but hopefully you can easily find a time to work with the Writing Center. And now I think Beth is going to share a little bit.
Yes, hello everyone. So I am a first year MSW MPH student, and I originally sought out Joe's assistance because I had a debate presentation assignment, and I had heard at the beginning of the semester Joe present to one of my classes about the Writing Center and what they do, which includes public speaking tips. So I kind of put that in my back pocket. And then when a health policy debate presentation came up, I was interested in presenting about opt-in and opt-out organ donation systems, which is a controversial topic because it involves a lot of different factors surrounding consent to donate your organs. And I was a little bit nervous because as a first year, grad school classes can definitely be an adjustment. It feels like there's a lot more discussion involved. It feels more professional, and it also feels that when I do present, what I say really matters because there's a lot more peer-to-peer learning happening, which is also really exciting. And then secondly, communicating on Zoom is different than the real world. So as we know, there's a lot of different factors that can come up. And so seeking support for me was also about learning how to present in this new environment. And so I came to Joe with this presentation that I had created, but I was feeling kind of overwhelmed. I felt like I had thrown a bunch of facts on the slides and didn't really know what to do with them. But Joe was really able to help me not only with the delivery of the presentation, but also with the content. So asking clarifying questions that really allowed me to explain my thoughts and organize information on the slides in a way so that it made it easier both for me as a presenter and for the audience to understand. And Joe also provided really helpful tips for setting up your Zoom space. So setting up your desk area so that you know where you can put notes if you need them, using headphones for optimal audio quality, and even practicing in your own Zoom meeting just to get a feel for how it will go. And I think that little things like that can make a big difference in the confidence levels of students. And so just having someone to practice that with was very helpful, and also recognizing, hey, this is a strange time, it's okay to be nervous, and that presenting is certainly a skill that you can develop. So I would definitely recommend other students visit the Writing Center for presentation support as well.
Okay. Joe, close off on the Writing Center.
Sure. Thanks so much for sharing, Beth. I always love to hear student perspectives on the Writing Center. And just to wrap things up at the Writing Center, we're collaborative, student-centered, and non-judgmental. I'm here to support and strengthen your writing and public speaking at the Brown School. And I also offer hours during the summer, so feel free to shoot me an email, or if you have any questions at all, email me at jmmilner@wostel.edu. And I'm looking forward to working with you all in the future, hopefully.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Joe. I am the, as I noted, the communication lab coordinator. I have a PhD in American Studies, so I come from an interdisciplinary background. I'm located in Brown Hall, which, because we should be on campus in the fall, that's important on where we are, different buildings. And remember, with all of this, we keep saying it's free, but it's not free, it's included. You're paying for it already, so come to see us and get support. And as Joe noted, open in the summer. So I'm there year round and so forth. And now we're going to have Jay talk a little bit about the assistance he's gotten from the communication lab. Jay?
Hi, so I'm Jay. I am a second year MSW student. I use they, them pronouns. And I found that using the communication lab was really, really helpful, especially in my first year. I consider myself to be a really strong writer. And there's a gap in my knowledge base, or at least there was in my first year, where I had never written anything about policy except maybe a couple text messages to friends. And writing a paper for a social policy class required a bit more knowledge than I was used to. So I went in to see Peter Coogan, and I had some assistance with creating a comprehensive outline and breaking down what went into an assignment, what my professor was asking for. And then Peter also introduced me to several resources for policy writing that would help reach a wider audience than I was used to writing for. So people writing who read policy papers or policy briefs in the real world have a variety of strategies and political perspectives, and you want to be able to reach as many of them as possible. So Peter helped provide some resources for me to better my understanding of how to reach those audiences. And then I wrote my paper, came back with my first draft, and we edited that together. I turned it in and got high marks. But the most important and exciting part of this was before I went into the communication lab, I dreaded policy. And it was actually through the process of working with the communication lab that I was able to understand that policy can be approachable and exciting, and it shapes the world that we live in. So now I'm incorporating it into as many of my classes as possible, and I actually used some policy writing in my practicum this year. So it's been a really great experience, and it broadened my perspective both on social work and in the rest of what the Brown School has to offer as well.
Okay. And so one of the things that Jay mentioned, she came in before she started writing. And that's really important. And because I've been here for 10 years, I've already read your papers, by which I mean the foundation courses are pretty stable in terms of the assignments. So I've seen all those assignments before. I've helped students deal with those. And I do a thing that I call a structural outline, where I take the assignment and I break it down and create an outline out of the structure that's embedded in the assignment. And so all of this together between the communication lab, global programs, and the writing center, we're really an academic success center. And so we deal with writing, presentations, academic skills, academic integrity for class, for career, for practicum, for professional writing. And that is what we're here for. And as I noted, we do have the best academic support of the top 10 schools of social work and public health. So we are here to help you because Brown cares about you and your success. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the fall in person. Thanks. Oh no.